Alright, welcome to what we learned in picks and bans for Game 3, Cloud9 versus Gravity. We got Gravity coming out again with the exact same comp they've been running the entire time, and basically telling Cloud9 to, counterpick us. Let's see what Cloud9 does this time. A little different. Let's think about this. I'm not really sure how this is going to work out. Let's cover the points, and we can see. I don't like it, the look of it, but I feel like the Shyvana, she's going to come out strong, and she might be what they actually need. I really like High on Shyvana because High is their shot caller, and when you don't have the best communication, if your shot caller can both engage and kill somebody, that means they can react to a perfect engage that they see and then get results immediately without waiting for the team to follow up on it. Of course, that's not ideal, but in this situation, I think that's what's going on. But anyways, let's get back into this. Damn it. It stopped. Alright, whatever. I don't really care about that. That's probably lag on the internet or something. Too high quality. This isn't really that high quality. Alright, I'm just going to keep going. We'll deal with the pauses. I won't stop when we're talking about them. Damage versus effective HP. Here we go. Varus, Orianna, Shyvana. That's a lot of damage coming out there. Maokai, not so much. Good protection. Braum, not so much. Good protection. Ashe, Victor, same. Good burst coming out of the Victor. The Ashe is pretty good. I'm going to Gragas, Gnar, both good flexible damage. They could go more damage if they want. There isn't a lot of shielding for either team. Maokai might be able to protect the Varus. Oh, the Orianna shield's going to be pretty strong. So I think C9 is actually coming out the damage versus effective HP. Grab here. I'm just going to drop this down real quick. If this looks hideous, I'm sorry. Alright. Pressure versus engage. Varus, Orianna. Orianna's burst is roughly the same distance as Victor's, a little bit longer, especially with Shyvana. Ashe's range is, I believe, it's 600, or Varus is 575, I believe. So it's not that much of a difference. They're roughly going to be kind of the same. Victor has more pressure though, because he's stronger burst than Orianna, but that's not really that big of a deal. Alright, so we're not going to be giving much weight to pressure versus engage. Both teams have some decent engage, of course. Gravity has the same engage. Now Cloud9 can dive in with Shyvana with Orianna ball, with Maokai follow up, and Maokai can sit back and peel. A lot of different things can happen there. Braum can peel too. So they both have engage, they both have pressure, it's roughly equal. Means it's going to be a good game. Carry versus control. Gragas can knock back Shyvana. That's pretty important. They're going to need that. Alistar can knock back Shyvana, because Shyvana is going to be the only one that they need to deal with who's coming into the backline. If Maokai comes in, you can knock him back. You can kind of ignore him later in the game unless he somehow builds damage. But generally, it's not that big of a problem. Gragas can focus on, peeling with Maokai while Alistar does other stuff. Dealing with Shyvana, who's going to be more of an issue, and Alistar is easier to peel with. So Gravity can definitely control the carries. Cloud9, it's Ashe Victor. They're in the back. They don't really have to worry about controlling them so much. They have to worry about Gnar coming in on them and setting them up for damage from Ashe and Victor. But I think Shyvana is going to be more of an issue. Varus, Orianna. I feel like Gravity is a little bit more control here because of the Gragas and the Alistar. And it kind of eliminates the Shyvana's usefulness, and then Ashe and Victor is stronger than Orianna versus Varus. So we're giving Gravity We'll give him gravity that. Poke versus sustain. So now they have Varus. Varus poke is disgusting. Victor and Ashe have strong poke, but they have Orianna shields and they have Braum. Basically the Braum and the Orianna shields, plus the Varus making it disgusting, is giving this more to C9. This is good. C9's in a lot better shape with this comp. That's what I was hoping. It was a little different. Pick versus disengage. They can disengage. It's the same situation as last time, except for Braum. Braum can stop the pick. Okay, it's not a disengage though. They can stop the Ashe pick, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I want to still give this to gravity, because you just shoot the arrow when Braum's not there. It's not terribly hard to do. Alright. Burst and healing. You have Orianna shield. Braum can block the laser. I don't know what the hell's up with this. Braum can block the laser, Orianna shield. That can stop the Victor burst. So that's a huge bonus for Cloud9. That's really big. Whew. What did they have? They have so they can stop the Victor, and can gravity stop any burst from Orianna? Not really. There's not a lot of shields coming out from gravity. That's actually C9. This is good. I'm liking this. This means we're gonna get a game 4 split. What's the split? Maokai's a tree. Nar's a Nar. It's not gonna matter. Both teleport. They're pretty even in split, so it's not really an issue. As long as they play it right, they're not gonna have anything. So what are we looking at? Cloud9. So pick, carry control, gravity. That's bad. That means they can start fights and they can win fights. Poke is good for Cloud9 now. Burst and healing. That's good for Cloud9. They can be decisive. Damage. Ooh. Damage and burst. Ooh. That's so if you have a damage and a burst advantage, you should be able to kill them before they do anything. But the carry control is like the main issue. So I'm gonna say like Cloud9 normal win. I don't know how else to say it. It's not gonna be a stomp, but they should like get an advantage and just kind of sort of like what was happening in the other games. But the other games, it still felt like gravity. I mean, it still felt like Cloud9 was holding on. This game shouldn't really feel like gravity's holding on. It feels like gravity should feel like gravity's stalling. But I mean, gravity's played this comp 3 times in a row. They know how to run it. So we'll see what happens. I'm giving Cloud9 this one though. Kind of a normal to similar to the other games, but a little bit more aggressive. I'm hoping from Cloud9.